Just get right up on top of your sitting bones. Just close your eyes and pull the core in and up and feel like you're lifting your rib cage up off of your pelvis, but your shoulders stay down. And then shrug your shoulders up and then let them relax down and even push them down a little bit. And then shrug them up by your ears. This is the only time we want our shoulders by our ears. And then bring them down again. And then do a few shoulder rolls back. Let your head drop forward and start to gently swing it over to the right, so you're bringing your right ear by your right shoulder. And just gently let that stretch, open up your neck. And if you want to deepen it, you can push that left shoulder down and away. Extend that left arm. And maybe even more, to get a little bit more stretch, maybe look up at the ceiling and down at the floor. So just kind of finding those spots where you maybe are tight and just loosening it up a little bit. Start to bring your head down towards your chest, roll across to the left side, and right side of your neck start to open up, and then maybe you can push that right shoulder down, push that right arm away. And if it feels good, maybe look up at the ceiling and down at the floor, so just stretching it a little bit more. Bring your head back up to center. Good, so we're going to put our right hand down, take your left arm, reach up and over, press your left hip down. So you want to feel like it's a really active stretch. You're reaching and lengthening your spine. Lift up tall, put your left hand down, and now go up and over to the left side, pressing your right hip down, reaching with your right arm. Exhale up and over with the left arm, really reach. Feel that space between the ribs. Over to the left side, reach with your right arm, press your right hip away. And now you're going to be sitting up tall. You're going to walk your hands forward, lengthen your spine. Just feel a little stretch across the pelvis and in the glutes. Belly is lifted, protecting your spine. Restack your spine. Bring your hands behind your head. We're going to do a little twisting. So you're going to rotate from the waist, then the ribs come around, shoulders come around, lift up, and come back to center. Now to the left side. Inhale, waist, ribs, shoulders. Keep the shoulders down, and back to center, to the right. Deep breath. Exhale, back to center and to the left. One more on each side. See if you can get your ribs around even more. And back to center and to the left. Now bring the soles of your feet together in front of you. Grab your ankles so you're not pulled in tight. You're reaching out a little bit. And lengthen out over your legs. Maybe press your elbows into your inner thighs. Just opening up those hips a little bit. Now from the core, initiate from there, restack, and sit up tall. Now you're just going to straighten your legs out. We're going to do some hinging back. If this is uncomfortable, if you're feeling it in your hams, in your quads, your hip flexors, feel free to bend your knees and place your feet down. We're just going to hinge back. Lucy's decided it's time to move. Go ahead, Lucy, get comfy. So however you want your legs to be, your hands are across the chest. You're going to hinge back with a flat back to the point you feel a challenge to your core. You hold it there, and then you pull yourself up. So find that challenge point, the point where you feel your core turning on and working, but you're not starting to let your back arch. You're not letting your head drop back. You're keeping a nice straight line from the top of your head to your shoulders to your low back. And pull yourself up. 3 more like that. Breathe in through the nose to the back of the rib cage. 2 more. Try not to grip with your quads. So you might feel them really holding on here. Try to relax them and pull your core in even more. So make it more core, less quads holding you up. And exhale, lift. This time, lift your arms up. Start to stretch forward. Pull your belly in. Arms are parallel to the floor. You're pushing through your heels. From your core, restack your spine. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, starting to make your C curve, hinging forward. And restack. So everything's reaching to the forward, but you're pulling your belly in deeply. And reach. Inhale. Exhale, pull your belly in. You drop your head a little bit. Everything's reaching forward. You're pushing through your heels. And you restack your spine. You're going to keep your arms straight out in front of you. And we're going to tuck our pelvis a little bit and start to rotate to the right. Bring your right arm out to the side. Look over your shoulder. Use your core to pull yourself up and lift. And then to the left side. From the core first, lift up. Inhale, twist. Inhale, twist. Exhale, lift. Find that rotation again at the waist. Then the rib cage come around, and the shoulders come around. One more. This time, bring the soles of your feet together, but do pull your feet in a little bit closer. So it's more like a butterfly. Pull yourself up, candy cane forward. Maybe push your elbows into your inner thighs if you want to deepen the stretch. Pulling your belly in, protecting your spine. And exhale, start to restack your spine. We have one more here until we come onto our back. So we're going to bring our arms straight out in front again. Hinge back with a flat back. Hold it, find that challenge point. Open your arms wide. I'm going to turn and face you for a second. Open your arms wide, hold that line. You're going to bring your left arm over to meet the right by twisting at the ribs. Then drag that left arm across your body, start to look to the left. Bring your right arm over, drag your right arm across, look to the right, inhale, exhale, twist. And resist the movement. So really make the most of the movement with your arms. You're pulling, like imagining you're pulling a bow and arrow. Twist, drag it across. And then twist, drag it across. On either side, arms super active. Hold it, use your core to lift you up. Inhale, exhale, flex forward. This time, flex your feet and maybe grab your shins, grab your toes, whatever feels comfortable. As long as you're protecting your back. Drop your shoulders. And slowly restack one bone at a time. So we're going to come down to the mat. So you're going to reach your arms forward. You're going to start to hinge back. When you feel your weight behind your tailbone, hold it. Tuck your tailbone, pull your belly in, and just take your time coming down slowly with control. Reach your arms overhead, push through your heels. Just give yourself a full body stretch. Other, so you're moving your hips side to side. Take your left hand, hold just below the right wrist. Feel like you're coming up and over to the left, and you're going to push through that right heel. Sides. Right hand goes just below the left wrist, up and over to the left, push through that left heel. So you feel a nice stretch up that left side. Pull your knees into your chest as you circle your arms around. Give yourself a little squeeze, rock side to side. One direction and then the other. So just noticing if you have any discomfort or tension, hopefully no pain at all in your back. So just always thinking of protecting your back. If you find a spot that's sore, just be mindful as we move forward. So your legs come up to chair. Your toes are pointed and you want your knee right over your hip. You want to make sure you're not back here with your tailbone up. So find that spot. You should feel your core turn on here. So pull your belly in and up. Imagine your leg is in a cast, hinge forward from the hip. as you drop your legs forward. Don't think of dropping your foot, think of hinging that whole leg forward. Inhale, lower, exhale, pull up with your core. And then the opposite side. So we're just alternating here. And always coming back and resting in that same spot, knee over the hip. You can keep your head down if you want to feel it a little bit more deeply in those lower abs. You can come up into your C curve with your hands behind your head. Your hands just for a little support. Pull that belly button down towards your spine. 2 more on each side. Legs come together, both legs come down. If this feels like too much, you can continue with the single leg toe dips. If legs are together, you only go as low as you feel a challenge, but your low back isn't popping up. Pull your belly button down towards your spine. Try not to let your pelvis rock forward. Exhale, lift. 2 more. Lower your head, pull your knees in, rock your head side to side, rock your body side to side. Bring the soles of your feet together, grab your ankles, and then rock side to side. So it just gives you a nice little stretch in the inner thighs. We're going to do the 100 next. However it works for you tonight, head down, head lifted into C curve, or you can keep your feet down instead of your feet raised up or your legs raised up. So find where you feel a challenge, but the most important thing always remember is your form. So you want everything lined up, shoulders, knees, and hips in line, core pulled in and up. Whether start with your legs in chair if your legs are going to be up, coming up into your C curve by using your core to lift your chest, you look through your thighs, and imagine you're bouncing little balls. So your arms are super straight, fingers are together, pull your shoulders away from your ears, and then breathe in for 5, and out for 5. In, 4, 5, exhale, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 4, 5, inhale. 4, 5, really reaching. Exhale, 3, 4, 5, inhale. Exhale, 3, 4, 5, curl a little higher. Exhale, 3, 4, 5, inhale. Exhale, 3, 4, 5, inhale. Exhale, 3, 4, 5, last set. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. Lower your head, pull your knees in, rock your head side to side. Going into the ab series 5 next, we're going to do a little leg work. It can be in C curve or with your head down. It's totally up to you. You can start one way, switch, go back and forth, whatever you want. Protect your neck. So just make sure you're not straining your neck at all. So we're going to start with lowered. So you're going to bring your legs straight up towards the ceiling, flex your feet, head is down, or you can come up into your C curve. I'm going to put my hands behind my head, flex lower to your working level, point, lift, pull back up. Flex down, really glue the tailbone down. You're trying to not let the pelvis rock forward and back. So you want to feel a challenge, but your low back is still connected to the mat. Flex down one more time. Point, lift. Now make a V with your feet, so that Pilates V. Flex down with the V, point, lift. Flex down, squeeze your heels together, find that inner thigh connection. So feel like you're squeezing your inner thighs together as you lift your pelvic floor. Hold it down, start your frog, draw your knees back, keep your tailbone down. Heels are still together, you have that V. Push out from your glutes. Resist as you pull in, resist as you press out. So make the most of it by resisting the motion with your own muscles. Like you're dragging a weight towards you, and then you're pushing it away. Good, so you're gonna pull in like frog, hold it, keep that tailbone down, open your legs up into a V. So you're just extending the legs out. Then you draw your heels together and forward. So you're in that position where you started. Heels come back, knees come back, open, draw your heels together. Pull in, open, resist, press. Pull in, open, resist, press. One more. Hold it out. Now keep your legs straight, open wide, bend your knees, press your heels together, push out like you're pushing a weight away. Open, bend into frog, press, open, bend, press, pull that belly in. Exhale, press. Pull your knees in for a second, rock your head side to side. Give your head a little break, your neck a little break. And you're gonna bring your legs straight up again, head stays down, or you're in your C curve. Lower them just a tiny bit, not your working level, just a little bit past your hips. And you're gonna flex your feet, open wide so you feel a stretch, point, pull them together. So we're just doing some straddles, open wide, point, pull together. So think outer thigh, inner thigh, pull them together. Feel a nice stretch. 3 more. In your C curve, see if you can curl up even higher from the core, not your neck. Hold at the top, toes are pointed, double leg circle. So you open your legs, circle around, bring them together, lift back up. And breathe. Lower your legs, open, circle around with control. Just let them flow one into the other. Keep that tailbone glued down. Pull your head, pull your knees in, rock your head side to side. Extend that left leg out, the right knee is pulled in, flex that left foot, and then start to straighten that right leg out. Gentle hamstring stretch. You can hold behind the thigh, behind the calf. Head can be down, or you can lift up into your C curve, flex and point. Circle your foot in one direction. Bring your arms to your sides. Keep your toes pointed, turn your knee out to the right. We're gonna go into single leg circles. So we're gonna circle your leg to the left, cross over the bottom leg, come down, around, and lift up. And you hit the same spot where you started, so make it really precise. Circle down, around, lift with control. You don't wanna throw your leg around, you really wanna lengthen it as you're going. Maybe bring your arms up so you feel your core working even harder. Rock side to side, use your core to stabilize. Hold it at the top, now reverse your circle. Circle to the right, cross over, lift up with control. You can feel your core working to stabilize. There, we're gonna bring the right arm down to the floor, so you just have it palm down. Reach the left arm out to the side, you're reaching that right leg up. Using a tiny bit of momentum, but really mostly core. Inhale, exhale, sweep your left leg up, lift your head, shoulders, and shoulder blades, tap your legs, come back down, but not all the way, lift back up. Come down, lift up. So you're feeling those obliques working. Exhale, lift. Reaching with that right leg. One more to go. Right knee into your chest. Give a little squeeze, maybe circle that knee in one direction and then the other. Your chest and extend the right leg out. So you're gonna really push into that right heel now. That right leg is your anchor. And you're gonna straighten out that left leg and start the hamstring stretch on the left side, holding behind your thigh or your calf, wherever it feels good. head down or in your C curve. Shoulders away from the ears, flex and point. Circle your foot in one direction. Lifted, your chest is lifted, come on down. Arms at your side, or you can try reaching them up towards the ceiling, stabilizing with those core muscles. Rotate your knee to the left, start to circle across the body, down, around, lift up, hold. Down, around, lift. Down, around, lift. You're pulling your belly button down towards your spine, lifting your pelvic floor. Pelvic floor is part of the core, so it's really going to help you stabilize. One more. Now reverse those circles. Relax your neck. Hold that up there. We're going to bring the arms down. The left arm's going to stay down, right arm palm towards the ceiling. Inhale. Sweep your arm up as you exhale. Tap your legs. Come on back down, but not all the way. And lower. And lift. And lower. Inhale as you lower. 5 more. Reach with your leg. Don't let it start to drop. All the way down. Pull that knee into your chest. Give it a little squeeze. Maybe circle your knee in one direction and then the other. Rock your head side to side. Release any tension in your neck. Down. Bend your right knee, and you're going to bring the soles of your feet together and just very gently let your knees open wide. So you just get a gentle stretch here. And you can also bring your arms to goalpost arms if you want to stretch the upper body a little bit. So just taking a second just to continue stretching. Try not to let your low back lift up. Pull your belly in and up. Back together. Heel toe your feet to the outer edge of the mat and slowly bring your knees together. So back so they're in line with your hips. Bring your arms at your side and just do a quick windshield wiper side to side. Feels good in the hip flexors. It's a nice gentle stretch. And then we're going to do some bridging. Straight up towards the ceiling. Bring your feet in line with your sitting bones, fairly close to your bottom. Reach your arms long at your side, so you're pulling your shoulders away from your ears, but pull them back at the same time. First, just arch your low back, so you're tilting your pelvis away from you, and then tuck using your core. So you're just going to go back and forth a little bit. Exhale, tuck, hold it here, press into your feet, start to rise up. Lift your hips up so you're in a straight line from your knees to your sternum. Belly pulled in tight. As much as you're pulling your belly in, you're squeezing your glutes. Triceps turned on for support. And then you slowly come down one bone at a time. The last thing to touch the mat is your tailbone. You release that pelvic tilt. Arch that low back a little bit, tuck, start to peel up again. No tension in the neck. The weight should be over your shoulder blades or shoulders. Oh, we're going to lift up and stay there for a bit. So come into that nice strong bridge. You're going to hold it here, and then you can stay here if you want to add on. You're going to lift that right leg up. Flex that foot. And then lower down to your legs match, point lift. Flex down, point lift. Lift, hold, place that foot down, recenter, and bring that left leg up. Flex that foot, lower, point lift. Flex down, point lift. Turn those triceps on for support. 2 more. Nothing else to lose but that left leg. Hold, place that foot down, and down. 1 bone at a time. Pull your knees into your chest again. Give yourself a little squeeze. Stretch out, quick full body stretch. Push through the heels, reach overhead. And we're going to do single leg teaser next. So we're going to bring our arms up a little bit higher. And it's kind of like the roll up. We're going to roll up but lift our right leg. So we're going to be coming into a teaser position. Arms are reaching overhead. Head, shoulders, and shoulder blades come up. As you come up, lift that right leg. So only the right leg comes up. Arms are parallel to the leg. Bring your low back down and then lower the upper body on your leg at the same time. Arms come overhead. Inhale. Exhale, left leg lifts this time. Lift up, lift your chest. Low back comes down, everything else. Find that length. Inhale. Exhale, head, shoulders, and shoulder blades. Lift that leg. Lift your weight out of your low back. Low back comes down, everything else. Left side. Chest wide across the collarbone. Right side, but we're going to hold it here. See if you can lift the left leg and hold it, and maybe lift your arms. For 4, 3, squeeze your inner thighs, 2, 1. Lower down with control. Stretch it forward. Flex your feet, pull your belly in. Maybe grab your ankles, grab your toes, whatever feels good. We're going to do some seated leg lifts here. So I'm just going to face you. You can stay where you are. You're going to pull the right knee in. So we're just going to work the quads for a little bit. If you're going to hold your knee with your hands, pull yourself forward and up. So you want to feel like you're lifting up the whole time. If you're not holding on, same thing. Pull yourself up. So it's a lot of core work to stay elevated. You can also press down or sit on a pillow if your hip flexors are tight and this doesn't feel comfortable. So point the toes and just start lifting that leg a few inches. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now flex the foot. 8, 9, 10. Flex out. Sit up taller. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flex in. Don't fall back. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shake that out. I have to admit, I hate that exercise, but it's one of the only ones in Pilates that you can do where you really target the quads. So we have to do it. Keeps our knees nice and strong. So pull yourself up again, shoulders down. Make your leg as long as you can before you lift it up. Point your toes and lift. Now flex. Shoulders down. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flex out. Sit up taller. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flex in. 9, 10. Shake that out. Bring the soles of your feet together. Candy cane forward. Pull your belly in, protecting your spine. We're going to bring both of our legs to the right side. So you want to have your legs staggered, kind of like when we do mermaid. And you just want to check out that your hip and your knee are in line, because we're going to lean forward a little bit and use our glutes to lift that whole leg. You want, as you lift, you want your foot and your knee in line so you don't put too much pressure on your knee. So the goal is to stay lifted. As you lift that leg, you're going to lean forward or to the side a little bit. That's okay. You can also put your hands down. So whatever feels comfortable for you, maybe lean forward slightly, chest is lifted. Lift that right leg and then pulse it up. 7, 8, 9. Let's do 10 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it, press it back. Little press back an inch. 9, 10 more. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just pat it out. Pick that right leg up, cross it over the left, pull yourself up, and then you're going to hold it with your left arm. Lift up with the right, look over your shoulder, place that hand down. Just a gentle spine twist. We're going to swing our legs to the left side now. So you're going to stagger them. Check that your knee and your foot, or your knee and your foot are in line, your knee and your hip are in line. And then try to lift yourself up. You can have hands in prayer or hands on the floor, whatever works for you. Lift it up a little bit and then lift. And more. 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it, press it back an inch. Little push back. 4, 5, 6. Try to stay lifted. 9, 10 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to bring that left leg forward, cross it over the right. Wrap your right arm around it, your knee. Lift up, place that hand down behind you. Lift up and twist at the same time. Look over your shoulder. So twisting from the waist, the ribs, and the shoulders. Pulling that leg in, lifting up. Start to untwist. Release that leg and then lay out on your stomach onto the mat. So you're going to come onto your stomach with your hands right under your shoulders. We're going to do a little modified swan to start. Your legs slightly wider than your hips, and you can turn your knees out a little bit if that helps take the pressure off of your low back. So feel free to find the position that works for you. You want to press your pubic bone down. So that almost causes you to, you're going to lengthen the spine and protect your low back if you do that. So press your pubic bone down, come down with your hands right under your shoulders. Your head is floating above the mat. Press into all your hands, all of your fingers lift up and slowly lower. As you're lifting, you want to feel like you're pulling your chest forward and your shoulders are back. You're not letting your shoulders start to rise up. Inhale through the nose, exhale, lower. How long can I make myself from my low back up through the top of my head? More than how high can I lift up? 2 more. Shoulders down, inhale, exhale, lower. 1 to go. Hold it here. We're going to keep our head hovering above and chest above the mat. Squeeze your glutes, lift your legs. You don't want to bend your knees. You want your legs as straight as you can make them. Take your hands at your back, make a diamond shape. Elbows are wide. And you're going to push that diamond shape away and then pull it up your back. So we're doing a tricep row, but using those back muscles, using your core to stay elevated. Glutes working, your legs are reaching. Pull up, elbows wide, press out, lengthen. Imagine there's a little blueberry under your belly button. You don't want to squash it. Press, reach. And 2. Hold it here, bring your arms out to a T. They're even with your shoulders. Your arms are hovering above the mat. Bring your heels together, start beating them together. Legs are completely straight. Squeeze from the glutes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1, 10 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold it. Little crisscross up and over. Hover. See if you can lift your whole body up, press your pubic bone down, and then lower with control. Push your hands under your shoulders. Push up and back into child pose. Big toes together, knees apart, and just sit back, bringing your chest towards your thighs. Reach your fingertips forward in your low back. Relax the shoulders. Feel free to grab some water. To the right side of your mat, left hand comes on top, and drop your left hip down. Reach with that right arm so you feel a nice stretch up that left side. Exhale, switch sides. Right hand goes on top. Drop your right hip down. Reach with your right arm. As you exhale, bring your arms in line with your shoulders, round through the spine. Come up onto your hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And just move through some cow and some cat stretches. When you round the spine, you're lifting your belly button up. You feel the weight come out of your wrist. Inhale, you lift your chest, lift your tailbone, wide across the collarbone. Neutral spine. And maybe if I'm kind of at the middle, I'm going to move forward a little bit because we're going to do a little plank series. So find a spot where you want your feet on your mat. You give yourself enough space. So spread your fingers wide, hands under the shoulders. We're going to go into a plank and then add some leg movement. If you just want to hold your plank, hold your plank. You're going to work really hard either way. The leg movement is just a challenge to keep your core solid and keep everything else from moving around. So just a fun challenge, as I like to say. So hands are under the shoulders, step back with that right foot and then the left. So just find a nice strong plank to start. Hands under the shoulders, feet even with your hips, little tuck of the pelvis. You don't want to be up here, but you don't want to be down here sagging either. So nice strong plank. You're pushing the air, pushing the floor away. You're looking past your fingertips, past the end of the mat. So you can either stay here or you're going to straighten the right leg, lift it and lower. Left leg lift, lower. Step out with the right, center. Step out with the left, center. Right leg lift, lower. Left leg, lower. Step right, center. Step left, center. Right lift, left lift. Right step. Don't move your pelvis, keep it still. Right lift, right step, left step. Let's do one more set. Left step, hold, inhale, exhale, come into down dog. Using your core to work your hips up, chest towards your thighs, pressing the floor away. Take your sitting bones up. Ear. And then if you want, if it feels good, pedal it out, bend one knee, keep one leg straight, and switch sides. And keep switching. High onto your toes, but don't let your chest drift forward. Press your heels down, pick your sitting bones up an inch. This time rolling out through the spine so you're in your plank again. So now we're going to alternate between a forearm plank and a high plank. So just shift if you need to adjust, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, and as you exhale, come down onto your right forearm, elbow under the shoulder, left forearm. Just check your form. Hold it here. Tap the right knee, tap the left knee, but don't let your hips drop. Press up with the right hand, up with the left hand, back into your high plank. Lower down, lower down. Tap the right knee, tap the left knee. Hold. This time, press up with the left hand, then the right, coming into your high plank. Lower down with the left, lower down with the right. Tap the right knee, tap the left knee. Push up with the right hand, push up with the left. One more time on the left. Left lower, right lower. Find your nice strong plank. Tap your right knee, tap your left knee. Hold, don't let your weight sink. Push up with the left, push up with the right. Down dog. High onto the toes. Exhale, roll out. Come onto your knees. Big toes together. Sit back into child pose again. Maybe bring your hands by your feet if you want to roll your wrists around. Release any tension. And exhale, coming back up onto your hands and knees. We're going to do a little leg work, but we're going to do it on our elbows. So just bring your elbows down in line with your shoulders. You can clasp your hands together or maybe put your hands down flat, middle finger in line with your elbow. You want to make sure your knees are under your hips. You don't want to be here sitting back. So just check your form. You're going to keep that left knee down and bring that right leg up. You want your foot flexed and you want your knee in line with your hip. Really press into that right elbow to kind of stabilize. And then imagine there's a little ball. You're going to squeeze the ball, bring your heel to the glute, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. So really turning that glute on. You almost have a little tuck. Hold it here. Now you have your foot flexed. Lift an inch like you're trying to put your footprint on the ceiling and lower. Lift, lift. Hang heavy. And same thing, but point your toes. Knee doesn't drop below the hip. And more. Keep pushing into that right elbow. Lift your weight out of your shoulders. 10. Just straighten that right leg out. Flex that foot. Little lift. It's going up an inch. 10 more. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now point your toes, tap the floor, lift, tap, lift. Try to keep your hips in line. Don't let that right hip start to come up. Behind that left foot, lift, come back in line with your hip. Down, lift, down, lift. Tap down, lift, tap behind the left leg, lift. Down, lift, tap behind, lift. Bring that knee down, sit back into child pose, just release. Come up kneeling tall, and you're going to step forward with that right foot and start to lean in, hands on your, 2 hands on your right thigh, lift your chest. Just a nice hip flexor stretch. Your hips back, you start to straighten out that right leg, flex that foot, hands come on either side of the leg. Nice straight back, shoulders away from the ears, curl your toes back. Press that heel down so you really get into the hamstrings as you bring your right hip back. And then think about lifting your sitting bones up an inch on the right side. So you really get a nice stretch. Come back up onto your knees. We're going to come down. Again, we're going to do the left side. So we're going to come back down onto your elbows. You can also do this with your hands, arms straight, hands under your shoulders if you prefer. You just want to make sure you don't arch your back, that you keep your spine neutral as you work that leg. So whichever you prefer, you're going to start pressing into that left elbow, lift that left leg, bend the knee, knees in line with your hip, and you make sure you're not lifting the hip. The points of your hips are pointing straight down. And then squeeze that imaginary ball. Squeeze. Press it up. 2, 3, putting your footprint on the ceiling. 8, 9, 10 more. 9, 10. Now poke a hole. Point your toe. Don't let your hips move. 7, 8, 9, 10. Straighten that leg out. Flex your foot. Little lifts. Toes, tap, lift, tap, lift. Try to keep that left hip down. Nice job. The right leg tap, lift, but don't let your hips move. Pull in with the core to stabilize. Tap straight down, lift, cross, lift, tap, lift, cross, lift. Child pose again, just to release that tension. On your knees, step forward with that left foot. Hands on your thighs, chest is lifted, lean into it. Shoulders down, you're wide across the collarbones. Exhale, start to shift your hips back. Hands come on either side of that leg. You lengthen out, flex that foot, protect your low back, pull your belly in, shoulders away from the ears. Pull that hip back and then maybe lift the sitting bones an inch. We're going to come out onto the right side. So we're going to do a little bit of side lying leg. Make yourself into a nice straight line. Prop your head up with your hand and try not to let your weight sink into the mat. So you're working the right side of your body as well as the left. Glue your legs together and bring them forward just a tiny bit. Left hand can be on your hip or behind your head or just resting in front. If it's behind your head, you're really using your core to stabilize. So try that first, see how that works. Lift your leg even with your hip, flex the foot, sweep it forward, point, sweep it behind you. Imagine you're sweeping across a table so it doesn't drop or lift while you're doing that pendulum motion. So they're not swinging forward and back. Toes are pointed, rotate your knee towards the ceiling, lift with control, flex, resist as you press down. Imagine you're pressing on a big ball, turn those inner thighs on. And you take your time so you really feel your muscles working. Point, lift, flex, push. Hold it here. Toes are pointed, bend the knee so the knee's coming towards your shoulder, and then bring your foot down and press out along the leg. Lift up, bend in, push. Lift with control, bend, push. Press out once more, then we reverse. And now you're going to draw your foot along the leg, bend your knee, knee comes towards your shoulder, straighten out and lower. Drag it in, resist as you push down. Inhale, exhale, press. Try to keep your shoulders wide. Don't let your weight start to sink. One more. And we're gonna hold it here, bend the knees. Then you're gonna take that top leg, straighten it out, bring it right in front of you. Start to lift, little lifts. And little circles forward. And reverse. Just gently lay that leg down, bend the knee, pat it out if you're feeling it in the glutes. And then we're gonna come onto our backs for a second. Figure four stretch, pull your knees into your chest, then cross the left foot over the right knee, flex that foot, grab behind the right thigh with two hands. Elbow into your left thigh. Legs where they are, hands come behind the head, shoulders are down, elbows are wide. Inhale, exhale, coming up into your C curve, hold it here, then little chest lift. You're only going up an inch, down an inch, not from the neck, from those deep abdominals. Pull in between your belly button and your pubic bone. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down, pull your knees in. Roll up, swing your leg to the other side. Come into that straight line to start. And then bring your toes forward just a little bit. Other hand can come behind your head if that's how you're doing it, or on the mat or on your hip. Lift that top leg even with your hip. Start to sweep it forward, point, sweep it behind you with control. No momentum here. Think of lengthening as you move your leg. Hips stay stacked. Legs come together, point your toes, rotate your knee towards the ceiling. Resist as you lift, hold, flex, press. Point, lift, flex, push down. Try to focus on your inner thighs as you lower and press. 2 more. Sink down into the ribs. Now point, lift, hold it here. Bend the knee, bringing the knee towards the shoulder. Toes come down along the leg, press the leg out. Lift with control, bend, press out. Lift, bend, press and lengthen. 2 more, then we reverse. That leg long. Now drag your toes along the bottom leg. Knee comes towards the shoulder. Reach, lengthen, push down. Drag in, reach up, push. Drag in, reach up, push. 2 more. And I feel like I'm forgetting something, but we're going into butt cruncher next. So bend your knees, straighten that top leg. So your leg is hovering above the floor, lift and lower. Hold it, circle forward. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower that leg down, pat it out if you're feeling tight. And we're going to do figure 4 with the right leg, cross over the left knee. Open. Keep, grab behind the left thigh with 2 hands, shoulders down. your head again, elbows wide, shoulders down. Inhale, exhale, lift up into your chest lift. Now you're not going to let your chest drop anymore. You're going to pulse up an inch from those deep abs. So between your belly button and your pubic bone, as if somebody was pressing down there to lift your chest. And more. 8, 7. Pull your knees in, rock your head side to side, rock your knees side to side, maybe circle them in one direction and then the other. Wider than your hips, and windshield wiper side to side, let them be heavy on one side. And right side, let them rest there. Place the outer edge on the outside edge of that left knee. And just let the weight of that right leg open up your hip even more. If you want to deepen the stretch, reach your left arm up overhead. You can look up towards your hand. And then even more, to deepen the stretch even more, press down with your right foot and away so that you're creating space in that left hip and up that left side. Bring your left arm by your side. Let your knees go over to the left side and be heavy. So just first feeling that stretch, that might be enough. If you want to deepen it, you can pick up that left foot and place it on the outside of the right knee. Extend that right arm overhead, looking up towards your hand. Down and away from the hip with that left foot. Your arm by your side. Bring your knees back in line with your hips. Pull your knees into your chest. We're going to kick our legs, roll up, but we're going to stay in a rolling like a ball position. So you're not going to let your feet touch the mat. Kick your legs, roll up, come up into your balance point. Lift your chest, hold it here. And then you're going to kick your legs and roll back, up and back a few times. It's a nice massage for the spine. Then we make it a little bit tighter to get the core involved. So now we're going to walk our heels towards our glutes, hand below the knees or lower on the shins. Lift your chest, drop your chin a little bit. Try not to move your feet at all. Just drop back, come up and hold it. Elbows are wide. Drop back and hold. And hold. One more time. Walk your hands forward. Just release any tension in your back. You can press into the floor with your hands and drag your chest through your arms. Sit up tall. We're going to do that side stretch again. So right hand comes down, reach with the left arm up and over, press your left hip away. Left hand goes down, reach. Lift up, left arm comes up, exhale as you reach. Inhale, lift. Twist and lift, look over your shoulder, come center, twist and lift. 5. Breath in. You're pushing through water, push the air away. One last time, deep breath in through the nose, really expand the ribs. Exhale, pull your ribs together, pull your belly in and